Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on PharcydeTv with my co-host, Jeremey Scippio.
What's going on, people?
Oh, man. All right. We back into the saddle, man. Yeah, this is that one. Nah, man, every once in a while, we just got to bring it back to the basics, man.
I agree.
Yeah, discuss a little commentary and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Break down a couple of the current events. Mm-hmm. So nah, man, this is where it at, man. We just didn't have the holiday. We'll get into that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did you do anything for the holiday?
Yes, I did. I went to the office for a couple of hours, man. Felt grateful to be able to go to an office and figured out something that I've been trying to work on for about a week or so. And I was just there for about 3 hours, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And then after I finished, I felt accomplished. So then, man, I really was able to just unball my toes and get loose. You know what I'm saying? Got my little cook on, did that. What'd you get into?
I do. Business. I ain't even, I literally, I know that they had a Juneteenth festival downtown. I mean, not downtown, in Lavell. Yeah, I wanted to go. I did. My wife went though. And went to a little get together, and then then I did comedy. You know what I'm saying? That's at the Comedy Store. I mean, who am I, man?
Hey,
yeah. I just don't like being around the white people that have to make their little June 15 jokes. Like, because every now, they always go like, oh, why you gotta bring up slavery? Why you gotta bring up slavery? All of a sudden today, I'm like, well, why you gotta bring up slavery? Like,
hey,
every day, like, yo, just keep it as happy June 14th or June 14th. Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah.
But I had 2 sets and I did good.
Ah, man, shoot, that's right. I want to come back out and check you out, man. I still say that. I mean, not that I don't want to come over the hill and see you, but that Long Beach venue is pretty dope, man.
I'm hosting the 29th, so
I'll be there.
A factory, yep.
I'll be there. Yeah, man. It's one. I was talking to another comic about it, and I was like, man, it's one of the best kept secrets because it's a really nice venue. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, man, if the element got off up in there, man, it probably just switched the whole vibe, man.
Yeah, they've gone through years of not using the venue to its capabilities, but I'd say lately they've been taking advantage of it. Like Long Beach is starved for comedy, like that. And it's like in a prominent area. It's a big theater. So just when they have the Hispanic comics come out, that's when it really, what I mean, because that's the area. So it is what it is.
Hey man, it's on the water. You know what I'm saying? It's on the water. You got a couple of nice restaurants around there. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So with that being said, before we hop into the double dutch, I will say, 2 things, man. 2 things. Okay. One, Lavell Crawford don't get his just due, man. He's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
man.
He is.
I mean, I kind of try to figure it out, and I'm just like, what is it? Because he speaks from his truth. He's not really offensive. He covers almost everything, but he gets specials. So I guess I
feel like he's very successful. I mean, what you feel like? What, like movies or TV shows, or what do you suggest?
I would say movies, because he was in Call Saul. I want to say
Better Call Saul, and he was in Breaking Bad too. Him and Bill Burr, they were the henchmen.
Man, yeah. I got to go back and look at that. Like I said a couple episodes ago, Bill Burr in I think it was The Mandalorian. It was The Mandalorian or Obi-Wan, but I think it was The Mandalorian. But dude, his acting is equal to his comedy. Like he's really like he does that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He does that. I'll say that. Yeah, his acting is definitely nothing less than what his comic relief is, for sure.
Yeah, which is it's a hard beast for comedians. I say with me even, I'm always insecure about my acting, but I nearly get literally everybody compliments me. I always say, "Oh, it's great." I think I could be very intense and dramatic. And they say the transition from comedy to drama is easier than the transition from drama to comedy. But I think with comics, I think it's just the idea that you spend so much time forcing yourself to be real. Well, traditional comedy, because you have different types of comics, forcing yourself to be real, be the realest you could be. And then you have this other side, which is way more important to your career. And it's like, hey, can you be fake? Can you pretend to be somebody else? Can you at least, or not be so much of you, that is such a hard transition for certain people. But yeah, certain people, I mean, to get Bill Burr to come on there and say some witty lines, I mean, come on, that's easy money. But it is a wonder why Bill Burr or Lavell Crawford hasn't had a TV show or something. I mean, maybe because I would say, and it's just a guess, I don't want to be offensive to anybody. Lavell Crawford, he already made a joke about how him and Bruce had the same set. But I would take it a step further and say like Earthquake, and I feel like a lot of comics of that genre kind of had Cedric the Entertainer's stuff. So it's kind of like the same guy, you know what I mean? So it's like once you find somebody with that same archetype, it's hard to like find your own. I mean, that's just a guess.
Well, I'll say, but I will say about Bill Burr and Lavell Crawford. Lavell Crawford wasn't really. They both know how to act without being funny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the whole other part to it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to rely on their bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing something to the table without even just relying on the funny to make it go. Because Bill Burr, I didn't even recognize it was him. And I kept looking and I'm like, man, this guy looks familiar, because he didn't have a funny role at all. There was no funny. He was more like a little weirdo or something like that. Like he was funny, but not funny telling jokes or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, he's talented. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so, real quick though, in the last one, I'm gonna give it up to you. So I saw Black Adam for about the 8th time.
Maybe it's me.
No, I'm good. You good?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, no, you good.
Yeah, it's me. Go ahead.
Okay. So I saw Black Adam for about the 8th time, and I had to hit you. Because I was like, damn, is there something in me that just makes me go against the grain so tough that I just gravitate to stuff? And I was like, it's really not that. I mean, the CGI was dope.
CGI is great.
Yeah, the CGI.
But
The Rock's acting and just kind of like all that and being a superhero. Yeah, man.
No emotion, no reaction. Just Mr. Perfect in every scene.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect. Yeah. No moments of flaws or, they say it's starting to come out more. And I don't like to put this on an actor, but, obviously because of other people, they say The Rock is hard to work with. And I think he has, I think him, LL Cool J, there's a few other people. They just have to be Mr. Perfect. They cannot lose. And I think that's what makes it hard. Like you can't see them slip on a banana peel in the scene. So I think that's it. But no, man, enjoy your movie. I don't want to.
Nah, man, I had to be real with it, man. It just hit me. It just came down on me. And I was like, oh, man. I was riding hard, man. Jeremy was sitting up there like, huh? What? And I was like, Jeremy just hating.
Speaking of which, The Flash, it didn't do so well either. So,
man.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I've heard pretty bad things about this movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't want. The Flash wasn't really my thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like DC comic stuff, but man, these characters and these storylines, it's just like, oh man, and I hate to just. I'm not jumping ship, but you know what I'm saying? Marvel's you know.
No, it's not even. It's not fair. I mean, Marvel ain't doing too hot right now either. But there's, they had so many wins, they're fine. But I think they finally went ahead and recasting or going with a different direction for our boy Jonathan Majors. So yeah, that's a tough call anyway. Though they put all their chips in on one table and lost. So.
But the crazy thing is, so with Jonathan Majors, I became aware of who he was with the Lovecraft series with Jesse Smollet's with his sister.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, I was like, this is the next greatest thing that we've seen since like he's coming out the blocks. Denzel level, Will Smith level, Jamie Foxx level, like he's coming out the blocks, like on that level. But it was kind of interesting to me how like fast they were to rip him down, and even though it was proven that his girl, she contributed. I won't say, she was at the club partying, man. You know what I'm saying? She was using her hand, sipping that champagne. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't like she was battered up, bruised up. It wasn't like, he hit her. They have evidence that she hit him and all this, that, and other. But it was amazing how they let this dude rise up so fast, dude. They let him rise so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they yanked him down, dude. Like, like,
you can't piss off the wrong person, man. I don't know who he pissed off,
man,
but he pissed off the wrong person,
the wrong one, and he with it, and man,
he'll be fine in the long run because there's plenty of artists have redemption songs. You know what I'm saying? The problem is this is a bad one. I say if any reason they don't mess with him is probably because of how much money he's costing them. Because like the next, you talk about the next like 8 to 10 projects, they center all around this dude. That literally only other person comparable to people was Robert Downey Jr. and Samuel L. Jackson. That's the only two people you can compare to that had like the type of movie run he was about to have. So he'll be fine, but he ain't gonna be in no more Marvel movies, to tell you that.
Hey,
maybe he'll be in DC. He won't be in
hey man. He need to do what Robert Downey Jr. did, man. He need to find God. You know what I'm saying? He found like, man, they do anything. Like they give money to the right cause, they get behind the right people, they go through rehabilitation. But then I could see for Jonathan Majors, since Homegirl kind of tripped out, that ego part kind of being in there, he probably was like, man, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna slice the phony bologna.
Well, he's still gotta go through his trial. Because it's a civil case, so they're going to go through that regardless. The goal is to make him look like a good guy. And if they are successful with that, they already started the PR campaign already because, they announced that he's dating Megan Good. Like, that's fishy. It's super fishy because I'm like, well, the reason why a girl got into it with him was because supposedly she was trying to look at his phone or something like that. So, maybe she saw Megan Good and like, who the fuck? You know what I mean? So she was kind of in the right. Either that or Megan Good, like, she see this black man going through something and like, yo, I'm like, is that good for her brand? So
Megan Good is definitely getting more out of it than he getting out of it, man. She's getting so much more, man.
They asked her ex-husband, how's he feel about hearing Jonathan Majors is with Megan Good. He's he a preacher. So he's like, he goes, I'm really I want what's best for her and I'm happy that she's happy and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they said, but how do you really feel? Are you happy? He's like, well, come on, of course I ain't happy about it.
Hey, man. See, he got him a cold piece right there, man. He got him a cold one. Which we're gonna get into this whole dating and actors and athletes and all that stuff, in a little bit. But another cat that came under some conspiracy, man. And he's really a good dude, man. John Boyega, man. He got caught up too, man.
Oh, really? We got a movie that just came out.
Well, no, he just one of his dips. He shook one of the dips, man, and she lost her mind, man.
What'd she do?
Oh, just went crazy, you know, that saying she got the bomb she could drop on him at any time, and just, you know.
Oh, good. She want money. That's cool.
Yeah. Caddy.
All she wants is money. That's great. Pay the lady, bro. Pay the lady. Because my homeboy wrote that movie that's on Netflix right now. So yeah, keep it. Yeah, pay the lady. Actually, you know Megan Souza that was on the show.
Yeah,
we had her on a couple of times. I think she yeah, her boyfriend is the one who wrote and created the movie. They cloned Tyrone.
Oh wow.
Yes. Yeah, with Jamie Foxx and who's, you know, what's the other girl? I can't think of the girl's name, but you know, just showing pivotal black genre pushing things, you know. It's a good time for black cinema, you know what I mean, with the blackening. I haven't seen it. I hope it's good. It looks kind of questionable, but I hope it's good. But you know, it's a good time for black cinema. So yeah, I don't want no more black celebrities, especially males, catching cases. Please.
So with you dealing with the production side of things too, what's up with the whole writers strike thing right now?
I mean, obviously, all this is just to be working out a deal of some sorts. I know they say the DGA tends to be the ones that don't strike because they, you know, they pretty much come up with a deal automatically. From what I heard, DGA, which is the Directors Guild, because they get more out of it if they stand together. You know what I mean? So SAG is going to strike soon. That's the Screen Actors Guild. You know, also television, whatever. They're going to strike soon. I think next week, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, SAG's already been striking and moving, whatever. But like officially starting to strike. The Writers Guild, you know, SAG and the writers together. That's probably going to drag the strike out. I would assume into August. So probably halfway through August, we're looking at some restitution.
So does that mean that right now writers aren't going into writers' rooms, or it means that they're going into writers' rooms, but they just can't actually have anything come out until they've reached an agreement?
No, if you are a union writer, then you cannot work. You should be striking. Matter of fact, I don't know the actual terms, but you're required to strike. That's part of your union, and anybody who's any part of any union knows how hard it is to get into a union. And if you do, like say, if you don't strike and you're caught working, they consider that a scab, and pretty much a scab now. You know, all technicalities aside, you never know. Technically, nothing should happen, but if you're a scab, you might be blacklisted. They do keep record of who shows up to the strikes. So who knows? This is Hollywood, and I always say the Hollywood sign should be replaced with the word nepotism. So I don't know, but yeah, if you're non-union, you can work still.
So
you can work.
So basically, there could be union guys that are getting together outside of a writer's room to just still keep their chops cool, though, right? Or it's like you're just not, it's just a wrap.
I mean, ain't nobody going, if you write on a piece of paper, they'll be like, oh, you're a scab. Like, nobody can stop. Yeah. It's more about the bigger picture. Like what's the minimum writers can get paid? And I'd say the initial problem is that just like with music, the streaming stuff hasn't been fully worked out. And the reason why is because streaming, there's no way to, all the deals are based upon, if they're not based off box office, they're based off of, just other things like ratings or, there's so many other things it's based off of. But when it comes to streaming, they're not getting paid per viewership. You know what I'm saying? And streamers, they license. So the product is licensed to the streaming company like Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and they show it for a limited amount of time. And how the streamers the streaming companies, how they make their money is off subscribers. So they tell you what it's worth. They either license it or buy it outright, and that's a done deal. So the writers are not included upon that deal. You know what I'm saying? Now, someone can simply ask, well, why are you signing a contract? Why are you, playing along if you don't disagree? But I mean, that's pretty much all of us at our work situations. You know what I mean? Like, we're all dealing with what we can. But when you join a union, the union is supposed to have your back, and that's what all this is about. So, if they can come to terms, with some sort of agreement. I'm not saying it's easy on both sides. I'm not like, I don't cry tears for billionaires. Fuck billionaires. I don't cry tears for them. But at the same time, man, if somebody can hit a lick real quick, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I could put it on Netflix. But it's just, this is a part of our society that's evolving. You always ask, like, how society look like in the next 2 years. We're in the middle of it right now, and they fighting so writers can get paid. Because if they don't, that robot will do all the work, do all of it.
Man, AI to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, same with music. I would say one of the biggest ones historically was what's her name? Girl that played Black Widow. I can't think of her name right now.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. So when she played Black Widow, they shot the movie like 2 years in advance. COVID happens. So they're holding on to the movie. They finally was like, you know what? Let's just release it directly through Disney Plus, because nobody's in theaters right now. All the theaters were shut down, right? They thought that was clean. It was like, wait, cool. Scarlett Johansson was like, my contract is based upon the first week box office numbers. Like, I signed for that. You ain't gonna cut me out of them first week box office. So she sued him. They came to an agreement.
Yeah, he broke her off.
Yeah, exactly. That's just one person. Now take the entire industry. That's what's happening right now. Like, we all ain't Scarlett Johansson. So that's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah. It's deep, but it don't have to be though. It's just money.
Hey, well, shoot, man. I look forward to whatever. But you know what though?
I want a job.
Stuff like Netflix, they gotta have content in the vaults though. So I think that Netflix probably has enough content to cruise for at least 2 years, without,
Well, what they're leaning to is non-scripted. Non-scripted. You're gonna see more for the next 2 years. You're gonna see more reality shows, more game shows. We did it before though. I mean, that's what Love and Hip Hop was born out of. You know what I mean? Like, if you notice, the last time we had it was 2008, 2007, 2008. Right? Now, what shows got hot during that time? Flavor of Love, Love and Hip Hop, Ray J, all these shows, especially Black content, because they know they feed the beast, and then it become a part of Keeping Up the Kardashians. I think it was started in 2007. So that's what births that is non-scripted or very lowbrow entertainment. Not saying it's bad, just saying it's business. I see what it is. You know what I mean?
But all that stuff is scripted though.
It is scripted, but minimal.
Okay.
Like it's to the point where they go like, all right, say it like this, or say it like that. All right, next. I tell you how bad it gets. What's the movie? Transformers, the second Transformers. The first one was a well-written movie. I ain't gonna say, well, I don't want to go deep. It's okay. The second one, they had no script for the movie, or a very small script. What they do, Hollywood go through so many rewrites. They'll say, okay, this is gonna happen, this scene, this is gonna happen, this scene, this was gonna happen, this scene. After that, they was like, let's just get from point A to point B. And they shot the movie. And if you rewatch it, of course, it's gonna ruin the movie. Oh, and most of the Fast and Furious movies, no script. They'll have a scene, it'll look beautiful, stunt drivers, all this stuff, and they'll just have the actors say a line to get you to the next scene. It's like a music video. They'll be like, he took the map. Where is the map? It's in Aruba. Aruba. You see him going to Aruba. That's what happens when you don't have writers.
Wow, that's a good one, man. That is a good one for sure.
That's just how it goes, man. I mean, I'm with it regardless. I just want money, bro. I don't care. I don't have feelings when it comes to Hollywood stuff. I just want the bread.
So before we hop into the double Dutch, the talk around the campfire in the, you know, production industry and the writing and, you know, TV and film and all that kind of stuff. Is there really a threat from AI?
Yes. I mean, the creator of the current AI system, that we're, you know, Chat GPT or whatever, he came out and said that AI is dangerous. It's, you know, I mean, I'll say the biggest fear, people can't put it into words, but you know, I've studied conspiracy, so I understand, is the year of singularity. The year of singularity is the year that a computer can build a computer better than any human. All across the world, we see things right now like a car, you know, a robot can build a car better than a human can. That's just facts. You know what I mean? That year is predicted to be 2045. So yeah, everything will be now. Once we get to that point, we'll see. But yeah, this AI thing is pushing that. That year might be faster. It might be 2035, just because, you know, we gave it the ability to predict. It's not thinking. That's what people are afraid of. It's not actually not thinking. What it's doing is, it's a thin line. What it's doing is predictive.
Yeah,
there's
like
only a
typing
certain
on the phone, like reading it, like finishing your sentences and all that.
Yeah.
It studies stuff so that it can, predict it.
Yeah, so pretty much it's not, yeah, but we're right there though. We're right there. I mean, it's probably already exists. It's probably something that does think for itself. Now you take that, add a few years, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it's dangerous, man. You know, like I ain't even gonna say it's gonna kill us all, but you know, it ain't gonna be pretty. Regardless, I would say the number one fear is the lack of jobs.
Man,
the lack of jobs. There will be what used to take. I mean, literally, I've been in the Viacom building, which is now a Paramount building. It used to be Paramount is that's the people who own BET, VH1, well, formerly, so Tyler Perry just bought it. You know, a whole bunch of channels, Nickelodeon, you know, a whole bunch of them. And yeah, that's all that. It used to be rows of big buildings. Went from being one building to being like a floor. You add AI to that, one computer is going to be running a whole network. One. That's all jobs gone.
Dude, that's so crazy. Years ago, we were in Washington, D.C., and we got invited to where XM Radio was. I want to say it was Washington, D.C. It was somewhere back east, but I want to say it was Washington, D.C. And I remember they invited us maybe after a show. It was either after a show or there was like an interview or there was something. But I remember going into this huge room and there was just so many Mac towers. There was just like all these Mac towers just stacked on top of each other, and just this whole room, like I would say, you know, well over a couple hundred, you know what I'm saying, that were responsible for that being the first satellite radio, those being responsible for like kind of making it go. And it's just so crazy because it's like, man, with this whole AI thing and, you know, Netflix and just all this technology, it's like, man,
I suggest, I wouldn't say fear, you know, live in fear. I would say, man, you should be thinking every day how my kids, my grandkids about to make money. That's what you should be thinking. You know what I mean? Like, you straight up. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't saying go buy a shotgun and get ready to shoot some Terminators. I'm saying that being an employee at a grocery store, you're gonna need a master's degree soon. And you get, because literally a whole grocery store will be run by IT person. One, maybe two. Whole grocery store, whole restaurants, no employees. It'll be a McDonald's with no employees.
Yeah, they already have an automated one. They already have an automated one.
Well, hopping into it. Yo, the reason why we even here, man, hip hop is turning 50.
Yes, sir.
In August is turning 50, man. I mean, look, what's it say? They're having a hip hop 50th concert at the Yankee Stadium this summer. You know, of course, it's gonna be Run DMC, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, gonna headline it. I mean, literally, I don't see why anybody would not be there. You got Eve, Lil Kim, Remy Ma, Trina, T.I., Fat Joe, Common, ASAP Ferg, EPMD, Ghostface Killer, Lupe Fiasco, Slick Rick. I don't think ASAP Ferg is going to be there, whatever. Cool Herc, Cindy Campbell, Grandmaster Cass, Curtis Blow, Melly Mel, Roxanne Shante, Scorpio, Sugar Hill Gang. I still don't know why ASAP Ferg's gonna be there. Battle Cat, Clark Kent, Manny Fresh, Marley Marl, man. That, like, you know, as somebody who manages a group who's so pivotal to hip hop in this thing, how does that make you feel?
Man. I don't look at it that deep, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at that deep. I would have to just go and say, I would have to rock with Homeboy Guillermo. I can't remember his last name, but we interviewed him a couple weeks back. And he was like, man, hip hop was way before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to throw a benchmark on it, but like, man, you got to go back to the breaks and you know what I'm saying? And all that. So, dude, any props that hip hop gives, man, I raised my cup to it. I was very grateful for my tenure in hip hop, where I just, man, it got me out the country. You know what I'm saying? It showed me a lot of skills that I didn't realize that I had, that I was able to come together and, you know, and put that together. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I kind of have that feeling similar to how I felt when it was like Gift and the Curse, when Busta Rhymes got the Sprite commercial. You know, they paid him $1 million. They allowed him to direct the video. Super music video or commercial. I'm sorry. They allowed him to direct. They gave him $1 million, let him direct a commercial and all this, that, and the third. But there's this very teeny piece of purist in me that's like, man, is the corporation, like, you know, and I just know the corporation is just tied all into that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
of course.
I mean, that's the money to make it possible. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say what's interesting is I'm noticing labels are coming like this, and like, you know, it's funny. It's the kind of the opposite prediction that we had about COVID. Like, you know, tours and shows. Like this is Live Nation is presenting this, and obviously they're gonna eat off of it the most. But like the fact that this isn't a televised, well, it might be televised, but the way they want to celebrate hip hop, instead of like some major award show, they rather go the route of, you know, doing this. Yeah, it's more money. You're absolutely right. It's way more money in live events right now. I just wonder how long it's gonna last. But yeah, absolutely, corporations are definitely in throughout, you know, this thing, hip hop, that is.
You know, in my opinion, what COVID did, just for me having an somewhat extensive tenure in touring and all that kind of stuff, what COVID did was it really squashed out the smaller performance, the smaller show. Like you get, so people were starved from entertainment for so long, and then once they opened the floodgates, everything has to be a mega goings on. And the whack part about it is that who wants to go and see one group, you know what I'm saying? And maybe 1,000, unless they're just like the hugest group ever, like 1,000 capacity or 500 capacity. Like, are you going to spend your money to do that? or are you going to spend your money to go to one of the 1,000,001 festivals that go on? Like everything is a festival now. Like everything has a lineup that's just so mega to where it's just very difficult for the artist to, like, the artist has to conform. You know what I'm saying? They have to, like there's up and there's down, but that middle ground, that little sweet spot that used to be there, I just feel like the middle class has been somewhat destroyed. There's either poverty, or there's the upper crust. That when it comes to performance, that's what I feel.
I'll tell you what I think about this lineup. You have to do Run DMC. I'm glad that they put them the top billing. I mean, or either, if you ain't doing that, it's disrespectful, straight up. Snoop Dogg, I've always said this, Snoop Dogg is the most popular rapper on this planet. I believe he's the most popular person on this planet, period. They had a poll. I don't know who they're polling, who the census of, but supposedly The Rock's the most famous person on this planet. But I have to disagree. I really feel like Snoop Dogg is. Now, he's not the highest selling rapper. He's not top 10 best rappers of all time. But you talk about I believe there's very few people on this planet who do not know who this man's name. Like if your life is on, like you said, gun to your head, like you not naming a rapper, or you done, you gonna say Snoop Dogg. So yeah. Lil Wayne, they've been saying he was the best forever. He hasn't been getting as much love lately. I don't even think he sells. When he puts out an album, people laugh at it. So I'm glad he's getting some love. Well, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry, man. I get wound up. I used to kind of, Lil Wayne came up in conversation at my office, and I had to give it up because, man, what makes him dope is what he was doing at 14 and 15 and 13 years old. Then he signs Drake, he signs Nicki Minaj. And like, you gotta just really, he has a vast repertoire. You know what I'm saying? He's a character, but like, you can't take that from him. And it had to be brought to my light. So yeah, Lil Wayne and Black Adam were the two levels of education I've had in the last 10 days, where I had to sit back and just rethink my movie.
When you talk about Wayne's contribution, I mean, if we talk about hip hop and where it is right now, most influential. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely. I mean, they stole him. They stole who he is and split it apart. You know what I mean? Like, every drop of it. You know what I mean? So to be a 90s artist and to still be relevant, you know what I mean, is already, a hard task. Because back then they weren't paying anybody. So to even be mentioned. But I just think I'm just saying the lineup, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, who probably made the most innovations as far as bringing hip hop to cinema and spreading it out amongst the different medias. You know what I mean? I have to give it to Ice Cube. So this lineup is like perfect.
I'll tell you who's gonna be there. Mark my words, if it's true. I heard the Migos just got back together.
Well,
and
yeah, two of them.
They will be there. If that is, they will be there matter of factly.
Well, if you're a rapper, you gotta be. I mean, like, if you're rapping right now and you're like one of the major people, I'll be honest, what I'm glad not seeing this lineup, even though I know they'll be there, is they're not doing this. They're not doing Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kanye, Jay-Z, even Nas. Like, it's like, can we get off these guys' dick for a second? Like,
they all gonna be there.
They're gonna be there, but I'm just glad that like, okay, they're gonna Run DMC, Snoop Dogg. Like, you gotta give it up for like the influence part. You know what I mean? Because this is hip hop's 50th anniversary. You know what I mean? Like, you can be in the building, but I just wanna, be more strategic about, and I'm pretty sure some people was like, there ain't enough money for me. So I get that too. But by the way, Hove is probably a Rock Nation event, low key. So
he gonna be there. I'll tell you this, man.
He got his hands in the pocket.
You're not gonna be able to fill up You said Yankee Stadium, is that where it's gonna be?
Yeah, Yankee Stadium, yeah.
You're not gonna be able to fill up Yankee Stadium with purely a hip, a hop, a hibba to the hip. That's not gonna fill up Yankee Stadium. That's not gonna fill up. Hey man, they're gonna have to throw Ice Spice off of in that mug. It's just gonna be.
Oh yeah, definitely during the Queens of Hip Hop set. I'm sure Ice Spice is coming out.
Man.
I wonder, but I doubt it. Nicki Minaj, if she stands on stage with Lil Kim.
Of course, man, for hip hop. Come on.
You think she's gonna do it? I don't think she's gonna do it.
Man, it's for hip hop, man. They about to bring out the
Remy Ma, Sabrina.
Hey.
You think Nicki Minaj gonna stand on stage between Remy Ma and Lil Kim?
I have been in this industry long enough to understand opportunities for oohs and ahs. And when you have opportunities for dude, the most addictive drug there is next to sugar is fame.
Okay.
People will hop on the stage for free.
Yeah.
For free. strictly to be seen. Strictly stand on the side of the stage, get into it. Dude, I'll tell you something crazy. And then we'll go on. This is when I saw how people jock fame like on a maximum level. So the Roots had did this show for Dilla, and they had the side perform or whatever. So we ended up sharing the dressing room with the Roots. So the Roots was downstairs. They had another dressing room that had Erykah Badu, and then they had a room. So it was the Roots, Erykah Badu, and then Lauryn Hill was upstairs. So I know somebody. We won't name this person, but dude, they weren't at the show.
Mm-hmm.
They're closely affiliated to someone who was performing at the show.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I knew the stage managers and all that kind of stuff. I know the production managers because we've been to the venue a million times. I knew those people. I knew people from all entourages involved. Homeboy says person. Okay. I ain't worth nothing, boy. So anyway, this fool throws a picture up on Instagram from the side of that's a side of the stage view of Lauryn performing with the Roots.
Yeah.
But they weren't even at the show.
So to make it seem as if they were there.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, why not? Why not? You know what I mean?
Why not? Oh my God.
How many people know?
I don't know, man. But that's just a little too far.
Hey, man, that's the truth. Hey, wait till I'm on, man. I'm gonna do Hollywood stuff like that too. Like, yeah, I was there, man.
The equivalent of Ron hanging out with Dave Chappelle and you hitting Ron up and be like, dude, oh, I should have been there, dude. I hate to ask, but dude, the night is too lit, man. Just get some footage from the side of the stage, dude, and shoot it to me, man. Let me throw it up on the camera. Come on,
game, man. This is the clout game. You gotta people catch it though. They'll be like, "Oh, busted." It was not fair.
Man, yeah, man. God help me if I ever get to that point. But I've seen so many people do so much for the fame that I just kind of get like, oh. But on to some trivial stuff, man. So down south somewhere, they had this TikTok murder mystery, man. So it was these two dudes. They called them a couple, but I don't know if they was like a romantic couple or what it was. And so they're TikTokers, doing it all for the tick and the talk. So they had this dude living with them, and the dude they had living with him, he was a drug addict, straight up drug addict. So he goes and he steals one of the guys' charger. And so when he steals the charger, there was an air tag in the charger, and then there was an air tag on the keys. So the two dudes, they're TikTokers all up in the social media world, whatever. So they're like, man, we gonna go and get the car, but we just can't let it slide. So the car was 100 miles away from where they were. So one of the dudes called up his brother, and they called up his cousin, who was a female, but she was kind of like a burlier female. You know what I'm saying? So they got their little backup. The TikTokers had the charger, and then I guess they had a truck. So everybody piled into the truck, and they're like, okay, man, we're gonna go and get the car. So these dudes drive 100 miles, go get the car, and the girl had another set of keys. And so she gets in the car, starts the car up, gets ready to leave. As she's pulling off, she hears gunshots. So the other people, the brother of one of the guys, as well as the other guys, I guess they went to go and confront the dude that had stole the car. And he admitted that he was on drugs, and, he was, tripping and whoop-de-whoop. And they shot him, and somehow I guess they shot him through the door, and it ended up hitting him in his chest, and the whole way ended up dying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, these TikTokers, man, they threw their life away for just like, man, come on, man, to be hard. They should have, at worst, they should have just got the whip and bounced.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I know. I ain't gonna lie, I murdered somebody the same way. No, I'm kidding. No, I ran into somebody last week that stole some money from me. And I knew I was gonna run into him, but you just never know where. And it's when I had the upper hand. And I was like, dang, like, as much as I want to like rush this fool, I'm like, I got more to lose than him. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And and I'm thinking like, dang, how much money he get off of me off of like me assaulting him. Because he know me, he know where I live. But I was like, dang, like I could whoop his ass right now. Like he was even kind of drunk too. And so yeah, sometimes you gotta just, be beyond be beyond revenge, man. That's all.
But the thing about it though, people that do stuff like that, they never have peace, man. He was probably thinking the whole time, he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I went to this club years ago, and it was a girl that I knew, and the girl, we was having a drink, and she turned pale as a ghost, and she just like, she started crying. Like and when I say a drink, like we were at the bar, we weren't dating or nothing like that, but we was at the bar, we was taking shots, and I'm sitting back, taking shots, chilling, just whatever. And she's like, oh my God. Then she turned pale as a ghost, and then she got tears in her eyes, and she's like, I'll be right back. So she left. So what ended up happening is she ended up seeing a girl who had her boyfriend had cheated on her with this girl. And so the girl was so vindictive that she went and found out some personal business about this girl and her stepfather, and made flyers and put them all around the school, and had beat the girl up. You know what I'm saying? Just like, that need to be a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I really heard somebody tell me something crazy as hell. And she saw this girl at the club, and dude, she went to the bathroom because she saw the girl walk by the bathroom, and she went and apologized to her and was like, man, I'm so sorry. I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And they were high school kids. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I know. And she said that homegirl straight grabbed her hand, and they prayed in the bathroom. They prayed.
You know, when I was younger, I didn't understand stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I understand, man. You know what I mean? Like it's just other stuff. When you got something to lose, you fight something you're fighting for, man. You know, you don't play games. You know what I mean? Like people who got time play games. People who ain't got nothing to lose, they play games, man. Like, who got time to play? Like, I ain't gonna chase you down, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lose more money chasing you. I lose,
Man.
I lose more sleep chasing you. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious, man? Like, yo, you play with me, you play with yourself. You know what I mean? But shoot, part of me is like, I thought you were gonna say she beat her ass in the bathroom.
Oh no. Homegirl was scared though. She's like, oh man, I should just let her. She's like, oh man. Yeah, it was wild.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you ain't sorry as much as you about to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, was it more hip hop news? Dr. Dre is getting the Icon Award for ASCAP because they want to honor him at the the Rhythm and Soul Music Award celebration for the 50 years of hip hop Thursday. Was it Paul Williams said Dr. Dre's groundbreaking early work laid the foundation for hip hop as we know it. You know, even though does he deserve the award? Yes. Does he deserve to be awarded? Yes. I would like us to get to a point where it's not white people awarding us, like we deciding who our icons are. But I will say what's important is this is ASCAP. ASCAP are the people who pay musicians.
Yes.
That's publishing. So if there's any award you want, it's this ASCAP award.
Oh yeah.
Way better than the BET award. So
and shout out to my family over at ASCAP, man. I got a cool little connect, a cool little in. Always stay cool with different people when I pass through little offices and whatnot. And they got some hard-working folks over there, man. They got some hard-working folks.
I'm familiar with ASCAP. I know that's the real money. That's the, you know what I mean? It's not a joke award. This is not just a plaque. This is like
ASCAP BMI, you know what I'm saying? We give both of them a shout out, you know what I'm saying? They both keep publishing checks rolling in, you know what I'm saying? Something that an artist can look forward to about 3 times a year, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I'm gonna hop into a little a monkey hustlage. So this was a good one, man. This was a good one. So in Florida, they got this hustle going on. So you know, you got it's more humid than LA, and it's definitely hotter than LA. So you got, you know, little kids standing out on the in the traffic, whatever, selling ice cold waters. So the hustle is they walk up to the car, they got the ice cold water. Somebody's like, oh, you know, here's the, you know, da-da-da. And then they're like, well, you know, I don't have cash. So they're like, oh, if you don't have cash, why don't you just cash app it to me? So then the person goes, and I think the person, they give the person a fake like cash app account. So when they try to enter it, it doesn't work. So then the person says, oh no, let me enter it in. And so when when the person goes to enter it in, whatever balance they got on that cash app, they just drain it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know, I had my situation with Cash App. One of my ex-employees, I was paying for something, and one of my vendors has his Cash App in his wife's name. And so, you know, he didn't sweat me for the money, but he's like, yo, man, just, you know, send it to me now. And I usually I'll Zelle everybody, whatever. And I had a little bit of money on Cash App, not too much money. And I owed him like maybe $250, something like that. And I fooled around and Zelled it to my ex-employee's ex-wife and not to Homeboy. So I found out like maybe 2 days later, and then my homeboy's like, man, you know, the dude who I was supposed to pay, he's like, man, I didn't get it. And then I figured it out, and I was like, oh, don't trip. I'll just bring you some cash. So with Cash App, if you send somebody money, they have to approve to give it. Like there is, like if you make a mistake, that's on you.
Yeah. They got to the point where I don't use Cash App because they screwed me over already. But Venmo, they ask you, like, are you sure? They even have a little fake little mini, like, hey, We are not responsible for you sending money to the wrong person. Next thing you know, you like, damn. But yeah, I mean, they even have it where you can put the last, make sure you put the last 4 digits of their number, of the other person's number.
Yeah, and you can get PIN numbers and you can do all, all kinds of little stuff. But what I do is I send $1 and I say, you send me a screenshot of that dollar. I mean, we, do our thing, just whatever, but people I don't know. Yeah. Hey, man, send me $1, send me a screenshot of that dollar. I get the screenshot of $1, and then we proceed. We proceed on to the next part.
You got to protect yourself out here because, there's with every new innovation, there's new version of scamming. And, if you think hard enough, it's easy to, during the pandemic, they had them susu circles. They was killing people with that. Killing people. People just up to be fools, man. Hey, yo, I came up 10 grand. I came up, I'm gonna do it again. I came up 20 grand, I'm gonna do it again. Like, then they get quiet. You're like, what happened? Like, yeah, man. Can I borrow?
Was that? Wait a minute. Was that you?
What? I didn't do it.
No.
I wish I did it.
Was that you or a guest that said that they had got it? No, that was you. You got that. You got a paycheck or something, and somebody ran up on you, and they ended up seeing you walk out the mall with some money or something like that.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, that wasn't you. Oh yeah, it might have been an episode where you went on there, but oh man, somebody got like a mug, man. They had been sent to go and get some school clothes, and they went to the mall to get. Oh, that was my homeboy. He went to the mall to get some school clothes, and he left the mall, and he had the bags in his hands. And so then this dude came up to him and was like, "Oh man, I just found this check." You know what I'm saying? And like the dude had like an African accent, seemed like he was kind of slow or whatever. I found this check, man, and I don't know, what I should do with it. And so then this lady pops up out of nowhere, and then the lady says, my boss will probably bust the check for, XYZ, whatever. So then the check, where they was gonna bust the check was like around the corner from this little restaurant that they was at or whatever. So my boy gets so hyped, and my boy's like, nah, he said he felt like homegirl was trying to come in on the hustle. So my homeboy was like, nah, you stay here, let me go with homegirl, and then we'll bust the check, and then me and homegirl will bring the money back to you. So homeboy went with homegirl to go bust the check, but he was so hyped, he left his school clothes with the African dude. Somehow, some kind of way, it was he needed to leave some collateral, and he left all his school clothes and stuff with the African dude when he went with the lady to bust the check. And then when they get there, the lady was like, "Oh man, he must have left for the day. He's not here." You know what I'm saying? So anyway, they got my homeboy for his school clothes.
Damn. Man, that I know that hurt, man. You thought I think you were about to talk about the Russell Simmons thing. You said that at first, but yeah. People get hustled out here, man.
I got mixed emotions with the Russell Simmons situation, man. I saw the daughter going off on him. I saw his ex-wife going off on him. The only part that make me feel a certain type of way is, dude, they did it on Father's Day, man. That's like, I just say it's probably more to the story. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely more to the story, but I'd say with his a lot of times I like to give the backstory, but this one I'm not going to. I'd say with somebody who is under the type of social pressure that he's under, I would avoid causing beefs with family. But what I think might be happening, because I think it was the same situation, and I'm just an observer, I have no inside information on this now. But like same thing with Dame Dash. It was like when you notoriously known for making money, good businessman and hustling, you don't care where what's going, you just making deals. But when it's starting to come crashing down, then everybody who's ever owed you money, you're gonna be on them. But remember when Dame Dash was on Lee Daniels at church in his like, nigga, you owe me money. I don't care if you saved. I don't care how gay you are. I want my bread. I think I believe that that's what's happening to Russell. I think he just wants his money from any source he lent it to, and I could be totally wrong, but that's just my observation.
Yeah, that could be matter of factly, man. That could be matter of factly. So, America's #1 favorite father.
Number 2?
In the Black community.
You talking about #1? You sure you talking about #1?
In the Black community.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's global. I think it's everybody. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about.
James Amos.
Oh, yeah, Black community, yeah.
Yeah. No, James Amos, man. Hey, man. He taught the strength of a Black family, man. He was really that cinder block, that piece, that level of respect. You know what I'm saying? When he, regardless of what craziness was going on, when he walked in the room with that face, with that look on his face.
Did he die?
No, he got
hurt.
So basically, his daughter started a GoFundMe for him a couple weeks ago, and she had this cryptic live where she was kind of calling out TMZ. She was calling out TMZ and saying that her father's a victim of elder abuse, and she couldn't say who did it because there was an active investigation going on and but it kind of alluded that it might have been her brother, but she wouldn't say who it was or give any whatever. But basically, he had some people that were caretaking for him, and they just got him with elder abuse, man. Made him, got his belongings and all kinds of stuff. And then I guess he was renting this house. Maybe he's renting this house in Colorado or something. And he went out of town because him and his son travel a lot. So somehow they found a way to maybe illegally evict him. And he had a Harley Davidson that ended up missing and all type of stuff stolen from him and whatnot. And so, yeah, man, the African-American favorite dad, man, he got taken advantage of, man.
Man, that sucks, man. I hope, I mean, is that alleged or that's like definite?
No, it happened. Willie D flew down, put it this way, Willie D flew down to, I think they were like somewhere down south. I don't know if there was like, Memphis. I want to say they might have been went to Memphis, but Willie D was with John Amos's son, and they kind of broke down some of what it was, and they just said, it basically, the way the sister said it cryptically, it seemed like it could have been the brother, but they kind of broke it down to where it was some people watching out for him, and then wherever the house was that he was staying at, the person was crooked that had the house too. So yeah, so man, we're gonna send prayers out to John Amos, man.
It's John Amos, man. Yo, he was hilarious. Good times. I loved him on Fresh Prince. Kunta Kinte. I mean, this dude is he was
on the Fresh Prince?
Yeah, he was Lisa, Nia Long's character's father. Yeah, him and Uncle Phil would get into it. He was hilarious, man. Everything he's ever been in, he was good, man. Yeah, Fresh Prince, everybody been on Fresh Prince. Everybody's been on Fresh Prince. But yeah, and like I said, he was Kunta Kinte, man. The adult Kunta. The 1 foot Kunta. He was hopping around, man. Yeah, man. He's a legend in the Black community. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Yeah, moving on. Andre 3000, he only pops up once every 10 years to spout some wisdom. They found whatever I actually seen this thing that was saying, I think we brought it up on the show before that Andre said that he developed a version of stage fright and performance anxiety. That's what made him not want to perform anymore. But recently he said that hip hop is devoid of any creativity, any he said, oh, it all just sounds the same. I mean, I know we hear this a lot, but to hear it from somebody like him, who's like a sage in hip hop, who only speaks, you know, when he feels like he wants to move a mountain. I feel like I know how you feel, but I want to know how you feel about Andre 3000's version of this event.
I would say this, man. There's always two sides to the coin, and then people feel certain ways at certain times. But to what you just said, I saw Killer Mike say that he got 2 verses from Andre not too long ago. And one of them, I think he said one of them was like 7 minutes or
7-minute Andre 3000 verse. Yes. Yep.
So I think that when it comes to the stigma of the outcast thing, that may create somewhat of a disdain for him towards hip hop. But that song that he did with Kanye, Bentley, Farnsworth, Ryan Leslie.
You're talking about man, only I would know what you're talking about. You talking about Don't Stop Dancing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you brought that up. Yo, that was very rare. That was
but dude, he killed it though. Like he like in every arena, like he killed it with that. The song that he did on Kanye West's album where they were doing like letters to their moms, you know what I'm saying? He killed that. So I just think that, you know, when it comes to that particular person, he's just selective with his hip hop, you know. So
yeah, I just think it's interesting because I know previously he said that hip hop is for the youth. That's part of the reason why he's like Dave Chappelle, where you know you ask him the same question over and over, he'll gonna give you different answers on why he stopped making music. But to go from hip hop is for the youth, and then to flip around and say there's no creativity, I just think that was like, you know, I wonder if we'll ever get it back. I wonder if he'll come back. I don't know, but
he gonna be
back, get a verse from him, he ain't gonna make no albums though.
Man, knock it off, man. Knock it off. Don't ever. Let me tell you something. One of my closest friends' father said, whenever you think you've seen the craziest shit in the world, it's something 5 times crazier waiting around the corner. So I just say that to say, man, I've seen the most incredible stuff, man. I've seen the most incredible stuff. Like, yeah, so I just say never say, like, don't believe the hype, man. Believe the Flavor Flav. Believe the Flav.
Who's coming back first, Andre 3000 or Eddie Murphy? Or Detox dropping?
In 2024, we're gonna see both of them. We're gonna see both of them. 2024, we're gonna see both of them. For sure.
That's funny.
So with that being said, man, I'm gonna close out on the last one. Juneteenth, man. You know, it's crazy how some people feel that it's very significant, and then other people, they try to downplay it like it's, you know, like it's not really, you know, whatever. But like when you really hear what Juneteenth was, for me, it strikes a special chord because it's kind of like, dude, it was people that didn't know that slavery was over, dude, and it was white folks that allowed the Black folks to believe that slavery was still going for years, man. For years. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It is mixed emotions, because you know, I would just say the one aspect of it is, you know, it being a national holiday. I think what this is like its second or third year being recognized as an official American holiday. I think people are still in debate about it. Some people were like, didn't want to take the day off work, whatever. Like, I don't know what that means. But it's officially a national holiday. It's another Monday that you can do whatever the heck you want. I don't understand what the issue is with that. But yeah, I do understand where sometimes when you're talking to white people, you're not sure if they're like celebrating you, displaying true empathy, or they're mocking you,
Another holiday, yeah, another chance to sleep in late and get faded, and
Yeah, so it's kind of like I understand the confusion, whatever, but if it's a day to sit and reflect, and not just slavery, but just the fact that Black people's lack of information in this nation, like that's still happening. I'm still just now learning about credit. I'm 35, bro. Like that sucks, man. I'm not saying you can't learn about it earlier, but these are one of the things that are the secrets of our normal society. Like even Trump bragging about not paying his taxes. People like, what? How can you do that? How you do that? Anybody that's doing big business knows exactly what he's doing. You know what I mean? But that's those secrets I think that's held back from our community on a regular basis. So I feel like Juneteenth kind of represents that, like unearthing truths for the Black community. Like, let's stop being late on information. We want to get it as soon as possible and capitalize on it, as opposed to finding out slavery has been over for 5 years. You've been free this whole time.
I got 4 words for you, man.
Yeah.
And they're not very optimistic words, but I hope that things change.
Mm-hmm.
Crabs in a bucket.
Yes.
Yes.
Crabs
in a bucket, man. Trying to climb over somebody, pull somebody down.
Hey, now in literal terms, was it? It said, the stampede in Leimert Park ended the Juneteenth festival.
Yes.
Juneteenth festival. Yo, that is literal crabs in a bucket pulling each other down for something great.
Oh, but worse than that. So I knew somebody who went up to the event and they were parked in this alley and somebody drove down the whole alley and hit every car.
Man, yeah, that's depressing.
Yeah, hit every car. Hit every car. You know what I'm saying? And what I heard, quote unquote, it wasn't even too many security guards there. And that's why everybody was kind of going, just, in dismay. So
we need some organization, and we need to check ourselves, because you don't want it to be next year Live Nation presents Juneteenth.
Oh man, come on, it's probably already in the works, man. Already in the works, man. We got a price, man. That's the cold part about it, man. We got a price. You know what I'm saying? So no, man, with that being said, what you got coming up in the near future, man?
Man, I was putting my calendar together. But I'll just say definitely on the 28th, June 28th, I'll be in Santa Monica, West Side Comedy Theater, 8 o'clock. And then the 29th, I'll be hosting Laugh Factory Long Beach. I'm also there on the 5th as well, July 5th. But yeah, more developments are coming. I got a little mini tour coming. And also I think I'm doing a show with T Nava sometime next month as well.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm trying to make my money back from this wedding. So I'm gonna be on the road. If you want me to come to your city, let me know. I think I lost you.
I said I'm gonna put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
I need my opportunity to say my speech, man. You stole my thunder, man. You stole my thunder.
Hey, come on. Was it the 29th?
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah. Say something.
Yeah. That'd be fair, man. That'd be fair. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man. So with that being said, man, it's been another episode of Splendid Radio on PharcydeTv. Peace.
Peace.